Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome, everybody. We're so happy that you joined us on this beautiful day. Thanks for taking time to meditate. As a reminder, before we start, you may wish to turn off your cell phones or watches in case they might give you a jolt during meditation. If you're hyper-reflexive like me, it'd be not the most pleasant. My name is Tess, and this is Noni. Welcome to our meditation space, and thank you to Chloe and Engage for hosting us. Today's meditation is on the subject of relieving anxiety through mindfulness-based meditation. We all know that feeling of anxiety. Anxiety is defined as a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. Anxiety disorder is characterized by excessive apprehension about real or perceived threats, typically leading to avoidance behaviors and often to physical symptoms, such as an increased heart rate, insomnia, muscle tension, and even panic attacks. Did you know there was a study published in 2022 Journal of the American Medical Association for Psychiatry that found that mindfulness-based meditation was just as effective in treating anxiety as medication. That's right. 8 weeks of mindfulness-based meditation is just as effective as Lexapro, one of the leading medications that are prescribed for anxiety. Now, the attorney in me wants to do a public service announcement and a caveat and let you know that it's never a good idea to discontinue any prescribed medication just because now you're a meditator, even though meditation definitely helps anxiety tremendously. Give it time, see how much you feel better, and then when the time comes, have that discussion with your prescriber. But never discontinue medicines without discussing it first with your doctor. So mindfulness-based meditation is highly effective as a treatment for anxiety. How lucky are we? It's completely treatable. And the treatment is free. And it causes no harmful side effects. In fact, the treatment causes happiness and better health. We need mindfulness today because we are an anxious society. In this day and age, is it any wonder that we're all nervous? We're all worried and anxious. We're all preoccupied and depressed. After all, there's so much to worry about. We're constantly bombarded with awful news from every direction. The world is coming apart. The climate is angry. And all hell seems to be breaking loose. Wouldn't we be abnormal if we weren't worried? One of the reasons for our anxiety and our unease is that we're constantly being pulled at by our devices. We get notifications every single time there's tragedy in the world. They never give us notifications for good news. Have you noticed that?
Sad.
But we can never escape the suffering. It's all around us and it's closing in on us. And we can't run from it. We can't hide from it. It's there. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen mindfulness master, said that we are an anxious species because we've lost the ability to stop and rest, to just be. Thai says that we have to stop distracting ourselves, to stop looking at the headlines, to stop running, to stop grabbing for the thing that will make us feel better in the moment. And instead, just sit in the present moment, just sit quietly, just be with our feelings, whatever they may be. We never ever really rest. We never clear our minds of the things that press in on us, right? And when we do get a feeling of agitation or unease, we either grab a distraction or a diversion to make it go away, or we push it down until we explode. We're all on demand, 24/7, and we never unplug. And that has caused tremendous pain for humans. But we can fix it. The approach of Thich Nhat Hanh and Pema Chodron, a Tibetan Buddhist nun, is similar. When you get that edgy feeling, stop. When that restlessness, worry, agitation, fidgety feeling arises, stop. Don't run and grab a distraction. Don't shop, don't eat, don't drink, don't go running, don't go to your go-to, and don't ignore or bury the feeling either. Instead, observe it, allow it, and tenderly, without any judgment, breathe gentle space into it. By observing and breathing with the feeling, you can begin to see that the feeling passes quite quickly. When we look at our anxiety, we have to bring friendship. The Sanskrit word for friendship is maitri. And we have to bring loving kindness. And the Pali word, the Buddhist word for that, is metta. We bring friendship and loving kindness, maitri and metta, to ourselves in these moments. No judgment, right? No blame, no heat, no shame, just tenderness and kindness towards ourselves. This takes the sting out of our difficult emotions. I have to practice this 1 billion times a day, but it does work. Here's an example. Occasionally I get in trouble physically and I require some emergency infusions in addition to my regular infusions. And when that happens, it takes 5 days in a row of consecutive, really long infusions. They take a minimum of 6 hours out of my day. And because it's 5 in a row, it's got to be in a hospital setting, and it's usually in the evening. So it's after a full day of chores, I show up at the hospital for the infusions. And I was almost done with my, I call it hell week of this run. Almost done. And I just wanted it to be over. I just wanted my life back. And that particular night, those poor nurses were understaffed and everything was not working. It was 2.5 hours before I even had the IV put in, and over 3 hours before the infusion started running. But because this infusion is what it is, they have to come in periodically and change the rate. And when that happens, the infusion stops and an alarm goes off. And of course, the nurses are busy and they're not around, so the alarm beeps for 5 minutes. Beep, beep, and 10 minutes. Beep, beep, and 15 minutes. Beep, beep. All the while, nothing's happening. The infusion is not dripping, and the time stops. And I know I can't get out. My plans for escape are dashed, and until the nurse comes in and starts that infusion again, I can't even say when I might even get out. So after all this beeping, I would start to feel this agitation rising, right? Like, oh my goodness, this is miserable. This is misery. I just want this over. Why is this happening to me? And when my focus changes to my misery, what happens is I get stuck in a trap of thought trains. They start one after the other after the other. This is terrible. How long is this going to go on? Why can't they come in and take care of me? Because I'm so important. The agitation just rises and the thought trains go and go and go. And before long, you're projecting. How late will I get home? How late will I get to bed? How miserable will I be tomorrow? Right? After such a wickedly long day today. So in a very, very short period of time, unease can become panic or rage, right? If we follow our thought trains. So I decided in that moment where I felt that agitation rising, well, Swami Smarty Pants, why don't you practice what you teach? Mm-hmm. How about trying your own techniques to calm this situation down and breathe a little space into it? So I practiced these techniques. I stopped immediately, stopped thinking of how terrible this is, and I just sat and I just breathed and focused on the breath, focused on the in-breath, focused on the out-breath. I combined the breath with the Hamsa mantra. That makes the thought trains stop. Breathing some space into the agitated, anxious feeling allowed me to observe that the agitation was just a thought which created a feeling, and it passed. So I smiled, I breathed, I felt instant relief every single time. All of our thoughts are passing clouds in the bright blue sky of our minds. And all of our feelings pass in just the same way. And if you detach from those feelings and those thoughts, you can observe them and you can breathe space into them with kindness towards yourself, and they will pass. When we choose this response to anxiety and we don't follow those anxious thoughts, then an anxious thought won't turn into an anxious day or a full-blown panic attack. Excuse me. When we feel agitation and stop and focus on the breath and offer kindness to ourselves, the anxiety can dissolve. I did that repeatedly throughout my little hell week of infusions. And not only did it help, but it actually made me more present and more able to have really nice interactions with the people that were caring for me with great kindness under very difficult circumstances. So in other words, it allowed me to make the most of a difficult week. And the hidden beauty of this practice is that it brings you back to being present in the moment. And this opens the door for wonder. We deprive ourselves of so much wonder when we preoccupy ourselves with the thought trains and the worry. The practice we're talking about today is called Tonglen. Tonglen is a Tibetan word, comes from Tibetan Buddhism, and it means leaning in to the sharp places. Tonglen means not avoiding the unpleasant or clinging to the pleasant. It means stopping and resting and observing whatever the present moment offers with tenderness and kindness, Maitri and Metta. The Tonglen practice works with all negative thought patterns and feelings. As Pema Chodron says, we need to do it 1 billion times, but if we do, it relieves our suffering. Thich Nhat Hanh calls this looking deeply into the roots of our suffering. And when we do so, we discover the impermanent nature of suffering and the impermanent nature of all of our mental states. They are not solid. Thank you.
I'm going to come at this from a different direction. The sages of yoga and their wonderful teachings, which are contained in the Vedas and the Upanishads, offer a slightly different approach to anxiety and suffering. They believe that we suffer anxiety, fear, anger, depression, because we do not know, nor do we remember who we really are. The sages of yoga tell us that we are a portion of the divine. I'm going to read that again. The sages of yoga tell us that we are a portion of the divine. Our innermost self, with a capital S, not the small self, our innermost self, the witness, the knower, our soul, the Atman, is a portion of God. The self, our soul, is pure, eternal, limitless, and beyond the reach of pain, suffering, and death. This self that all of us have is unaffected by our thoughts and the feelings that our thoughts give rise to. Therefore, if we become immersed in the self, we can become free from all worry, all fear, and all anxiety. Of course, the question comes, how do we do this? The sages tell us, use the Hamsa breath mantra and meditate, meditate, meditate to become immersed in the self and be filled with peace and joy. Both Buddhism and the sages of yoga tell us that in order to be happy and to be free of anxiety, we should give up our attachment to the outcome of what we do. Most of us do things and we have an agenda and we have an outcome that we'd like to have happen. But both Buddhism and the sages of yoga tell us that in order to be happy and to be free of anxiety, we should give up our attachment to the outcome of what we do. After all, we don't have any control over any of the outcomes. So they advise, offer your very best in every circumstance, and then let go of your attachment to the outcome. And this will help to free you of worry. So now we're going to prepare to meditate. If you'd like, you can stretch for the sky, shake out your legs, have a drink of water, get a scarf or a shawl if you're chilly, and then take an easeful, steady, upright posture. Place both of your feet flat on the floor or a firm surface, and place your feet so that they're hip width apart. Then straighten your spine as much as is comfortable for you. Let the back of your neck gently elongate as the crown of your head reaches toward the ceiling. This is facilitated by ever so slightly tucking your chin down just a little bit, as if you're nodding to someone. Again, remember there's no need to force anything or to have any pain while you meditate. Now, if it's comfortable for you, you can place your hands in chin mudra with your thumbs and your forefingers gently touching. You can see Tess is doing it. Then place your hands palms down on your thighs. If this is uncomfortable, then you can just place your hands palms down on your thighs and not do the complete chin mudra. This will help to ground you and hold the meditative energy within you. Please close your eyes now and allow your eyes to soften. I always like the image of a kitty sleeping, nice and soft, serene. Let your eyes be soft and gentle. Now smile. Go ahead, a nice, big, beautiful smile. And this will help to allow your facial muscles to relax completely. Go ahead and smile another great, big, beautiful smile and release all the muscles in your neck and your shoulders and allow them to fully relax and then settle into the softness. Take a moment and scan your body for any lingering signs of stress or tension and send warmth and relaxation to those places. Now take in a deep, slow, mindful breath and release that breath fully. Again, a nice deep breath in and exhale fully. And one more deep inhalation and breathe out long. And now please return to your normal rate of breathing. Pardon me. When we meditate, we use a Sanskrit mantra, which has been used by yogis for over 7,000 years. It's been practiced a lot. The mantra that we use is Hamsa. It's spelled Hamsa. Hamsa is a breath mantra. It goes on within you every minute of every day and night of your life, from when you're born until you pass from this world. All we have to do is to be mindful and remember Hamsa and link it to our breathing, and we can be instantly calm and serene. So now we'll practice it together. As you inhale, silently repeat to yourself, hum. Hum is the sound your breath makes when you breathe in. As you exhale, silently repeat sa. Sa is the sound your breath makes when you exhale. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. As you meditate, thoughts will come and they'll go, and that is inevitable. If you find yourself thinking, just resume your silent repetition of hum on the in-breath and sa on the out-breath. So I would like to know, what am I saying when I say hamsa? And for me today, hamsa is the following, and you can say it to yourself silently. I am that essence which is calm, peaceful, and serene. You can say it after or with me. We'll try it again. I am that essence which is calm, peaceful, and serene. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. And now silently repeat the following things. I am not my worries. I am not my hardships. I am not my suffering. I am that essence which is calm, peaceful, and serene. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. I am that essence which is calm, peaceful, and serene. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. You can continue in this way and we'll meditate. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Meditate. So you can take a deep breath in and then let it out slowly and gradually bring your awareness back to the room. It's always good to take your time coming out of meditation. Don't set an alarm for yourself. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And then you can stretch. Stretch out your arms and your hands. And then special attention for the toes and the feet and the ankles and the legs, because sometimes they fall asleep when we meditate and we don't want anyone falling. So we encourage everyone to always wiggle their ankles, their feet, their legs, not just when you're with us meditating, but when you meditate by yourself. And now is the time for you to see if you have a question that we might have to figure out an answer to. Does anyone have a question or a comment or an insight that may have happened in today's session, or it may have come up while you meditated during the last month, or while you watched another YouTube version of us? So don't be bashful. We learn from each other's questions. We learn from each other's experiences. And if you raise your hand, the monitor, Chloe, will have your voice be available so that everybody can hear you. I don't hear anybody. Oh, I know this person.
Can we hear you? No. So, can you?
There she is. Yes. Hi, Joy.
Oh, can you unmute Joy Rodina?
There we go.
All right.
Hi.
Hi, Joy.
Oh, what a wonderful meditation that was. Thank you.
Thank you
And
for bringing your energy.
I went so deep. And you just, Noni, you just lead into it in such a powerful way, because I was sitting here thinking I'm wide awake and I'm not going to be able to meditate. And then I had such a deep meditation. So thank you for that. And Tess, thank you for your courageous sharing. That was so powerful.
Thank you.
And you know, it's an inspiration when you practice what you preach and you hear about it.
It's good to be challenged in that way. You know, I'm glad that the thought occurred to me when I was sitting in my misery that, you know, hey, I can change this.
I love her description. Swami Smarty Pants.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who might have a question or an insight or a comment?
This is Jane Edwards. I had raised my hand, so I want to. Hi, I'm not camera. I've been, yeah. It's not time for me to be on camera, but I do want to second what was said. This has been really powerful and inspiring and informative. I will say I feel a little bit of anxiety about the breathing techniques. So that haunts me. And I've meditated before, and it's been a little while. So I know, as I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it's a practice. It's something, it's like muscle that you should exercise so that it comes more naturally. And I want to throw that out and offer up, am I normal in having a little anxiety?
You're absolutely right. And with the breathing, the main thing is to go slow and comfortable, right? We breathe naturally round the clock without any thought. So it feels a little uncomfortable when we start paying attention to it.
Right.
We're not used to that, right? Mm-hmm. So it takes a little bit of time, and then we get our sea legs with it, and it gets a lot easier over time. But be patient and gentle with yourself at first.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. We only do 3 mindful centering breaths that are longer in the beginning. And then we return to our normal rate of breathing. So whatever is your normal rate, some people breathe quickly and some people breathe slowly. Whatever is your normal rate of breathing, you match the in-breath and the out-breath to hum and sa. You don't push it.
Yeah. Always gentle.
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody else with a comment or an insight or a question? This is your time to see if you can stump us.
Speaking of stumping us, we never say this enough. Please don't ever take what we say as truth.
Yes, it's true.
Everything we say is science, actually. Mm-hmm. So it works if you experiment with it. So if you try a technique like the one we described today, if you start to feel edgy or anxious, it should work. Not because we said so, but because the technique actually does the trick. Mm-hmm. So don't trust us. Try it on in your own life to see if it actually helps. And if it doesn't, let us know. We want to know about that too. What's next month?
Oh, next month is November 18th at 1:00, same place. And the meditation class is going to be on gratitude just before Thanksgiving. So you can come with whatever your gratitude might be for that day and share it with us, and we'll share with you our thoughts on gratitude and weave that into the next meditation. Once again, we're very grateful that you've joined us. We encourage you to come back to Engage's YouTube channel, and you can revisit this as often as you would like. And there are other meditation classes, and you can revisit any of those that you may have liked or visit some new ones. And if you have an issue or a topic or something that is specific for you that you would like us to address, you could let Liz know, and she will email us your request.
Yes. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Chloe and Engage, for hosting us. It's an honor to be here with you and to meditate with you. See you next time. Namaste.
Namaste.